Good morning, everyone, and welcome. And most importantly, thank you to everyone for braving this snowy and unexpected wintry mix this morning. I'm delighted to welcome you to this morning's forum, A Generation in the Middle. Today, that issue is the sandwich generation, or the half of Americans in their 40s and 50s who are taking care of both their aging parents and their own children at the same time. There is a growing crisis of a shortage of caregivers in the United States. Caregiving for one's own family often involves emotional and financial costs unmatched in other situations, a pressure felt uniquely by members of this sandwich generation. Communities along ethnic and socioeconomic lines practice care for their elders differently, but the burden of this kind of care, remains universal. We're here today to talk about how to care for these caregivers and their loved ones. And to do that, we've gathered leaders in aging, law, health services, advocacy, research, and more to explore the ways that working Americans are preparing to take care of their kids and their parents at the same time. We'll also dig into the ways that people are juggling the emotional and financial burdens of family care. And we'll look at the ways that national legislation on caregiving can reach from the Senate floor to the kitchen table. Obviously, there's a lot to unpack today. But before we begin, I'd like to thank our underwriter, Genworth, for making today's event possible. And now, some practical notes. If everyone could please silence your cell phones, but keep them out to participate in our conversation on Twitter. We're at AtlanticLIVE and use the hashtag AtlanticInTheMiddle. And we want you to be a part of the conversation in the room too, so we'll take questions after each session. And let's dive in. We begin with a conversation about who defines the sandwich generation. So for that, please welcome Kim Parker, Director of Social Trends at the Pew Research Center, Margarita Navas of the National Hispanic Council on Aging, and Diana Campbell Salisbury, Chief Development Officer at the National Council on Aging. And leading the conversation is the Atlantic's Washington Editor-at-Large, Steve Clemens.